Dr. Julie Peterson. Welcome to the Wellness Revolution, where we're revolutionizing the way we live our life. Today I'm here at Earth Fare, the healthy supermarket, one of my favorite places to shop for organic, local and non-local products. In just a minute we're going to be talking about organic coffee, fair trade coffee, shade-grown coffee, and the differences. Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Peterson. Welcome to the Wellness Revolution. Today we're on one of my favorite topics, coffee, and why we would choose to go organic, fair trade, shade grown. There are so many different options. Today we're going to be interviewing Scott from Earth Fare. Scott, thanks so much for helping us out today and educating us.
Sure, no problem.
So Scott, a lot of people don't know the difference between Folgers or any of those other name brands. What's the difference between a conventional coffee and an organic, fair trade, or shade-grown coffee?
Well, there's a lot of differences,
Okay.
especially in taste, because our coffees are organic.
Okay.
So they're pesticide-free, grown in more rich soil,
Ah.
and so you're getting a more pure sort of essence of the coffee. It's also manufactured in smaller batches, so it's sort of a handmade, handcrafted.
I think you're absolutely right that when the soil is depleted of natural nutrients, then the product just doesn't taste as good as real organic products always do.
Yes.
Now, what does shade grown mean?
Shade grown means that the farms are not cleared or stripped of trees, and instead the coffee is grown under the trees, which sort of provides natural ecological balance. Nesting birds don't have to move or migrate because their habitat has been displaced, and then the coffee just sort of has a more rich, more robust flavor.
So it would have that flavor because of the ecosystem being in place there and all those little nuances that are hard to really capture in an artificial environment.
It's very true,
impossible,
and that you can't get that flavor from big coffee.
Right. Now, so that's shade grown. So what's the deal on fair trade?
Fair trade means that the companies that we deal with, especially Larry's Beans, work directly with small farmers in each sort of individual region or country, and so there's no big corporate middleman.
I guess I need to ask you then, how is corporate coffee, if we can call it that, corporate conventional coffee, how is that farmed?
Well, there's huge plantations that again are sort of stripped and clear cut, and the environmental impact of that, of course, is hard to calculate, but we know that it's is not nearly the same and is not as green or as friendly as small batch organic
and to
coffee.
use the local indigenous people that the coffee originated from is really keep giving back to those people. Well, in just a minute I want to walk over. There's actually a local coffee, isn't there?
Yes.
And let's take a peek at that. We'll be right back. So Scott, we have some local coffee here. Now, it can't possibly be shade grown, is it?
It is actually.
How?
And it's grown on sustainable farms.
Wow.
And then brought to Charleston, where it is roasted right here downtown.
So it's roasted here, but it's not grown here.
It is not grown here.
I see.
But they also use fair trade practices, work with small farmers who do sustainable farming.
I see.
And the company, believe it or not, has actually been around for about 20 years.
Wow. So we can get great coffee, fair trade, organic, shade grown, and support our local people.
Absolutely.
Which is really the best thing.
Which is great.
All right, so one more question before we go. What's your favorite coffee?
I guess I'd have to say my all-time favorite style is Mocha Java.
Mocha Java.
Because it has a sort of fruity kind of flavor in the beginning that's intense, then a very chocolatey, sort of smooth finish.
You're like a coffee connoisseur, aren't you?
I'm a fan, definitely. It fuels me, but I also drink it just because I love the taste, and organic coffee especially has an unmatched sort of flavor.
I've noticed after drinking conventional coffees all these years, when you come into a store like this and you really have some different coffee, the nuances and the subtleties that are there are just shocking to think that we haven't had that all this time. Scott, thank you so much for telling us about fair trade, organic, shade grown, and local. All those great things about coffee. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So join me next week. We're going to be talking about whether milk really does a body good or not. Is it best to do organic, almond, soy, coconut? Join me next week. We're going to talk about it. I'm Dr. Julie Peterson for the Wellness Revolution. Join me on Comcast 2, all local, all the time.